Godspeed to the city streets.
You adjusted the strap of your backpack as you were walking down the hall towards the locker. You were halfway to your locker room when you heard a familiar voice from the behind. You turned around to see Jackson, your best friend. He has been your childhood best friend because both of your fathers are friends as well as business partners, so you both spend most of the time together. You have shared each and everything with him, though Jackson by his nature, but you don't have any problem, cause you know he is like this since childhood. Why and hey Jack, you segue running to him, a wide smile appeared on your face. Jackson, hi my cupcake, he said in his husky voice as he pulled you. Jackson calls you by different nicknames and you don't have any issue with it. Jackson, so Ryan, I have been meaning to ask you something, he said. Ryan, yeah sure, you said opening your locker and began swapping out your books. Jackson cleared his throat dramatically, his left hand fidgeting with the strap of his backpack. Ryan, hey, why you're so quiet? Come on, there is nothing between. You can ask me whatever you want, you said, giving him a reassuring note, Jackson. What do you think about Professor Jungkook? He started looking around, you froze for a fraction of a second, your heartbeat raised and your cheeks turned pink. Ryan, what do you mean? You asked, gulping down. Jackson, I don't know. He is all anyone talks about. I thought you might have an opinion, he said, looking at you. Ryan, yeah, he's a great. I mean, he's smart, good looking. He can catch the eyes anywhere he goes. You said, tucking a loose strand of your hair behind your ear and smiled shyly. Jackson's grin faltered slightly. Jackson, sounds like someone is fan. He said, nudging your shoulder playfully, which made you blush. Ryan, come on, this is not so. You were cut off by him. Jackson, oh come on, let it be. We are already late for his class. We should leave before we get scolded by that professor of yours, he said, and you giggled. You both ran hands in hands as you both reached there. Your eyes grew wider as you saw Jungkook already standing in the room. Seeing his face, your pulse quickened. When Professor, may I come in? You said in a low voice. Hearing your voice, Jungkook tilted his head to catch you holding Jungkook's hand. Jackson, Jungkook, no, you can't come inside because you are 5 minutes late, he said in his deep husky voice. Jackson, he was cut off by Professor who gave him a sharp eye. Jungkook, you got flinched looking at Jungkook. Ryan, sir, please, we promise that we will never get late, you said in a pleading voice which softened Jungkook's heart. Jungkook, he sighed and looked at your innocent pouted face. Come in, but be careful for the next time, he said, glaring at Jackson, who rolled his eyes. You nodded your head, and with that you stepped inside the class. Jackson followed you and said, you were little sad, and Jackson noticed it, so he started making clown faces to make you laugh, and it worked. While you were laughing, looking at his face, Jungkook noticed it. Jungkook, you come and sit on the first bench, he said, pointing at you. Why me? But you were cut off by him, Jungkook. I'm not used to repeat myself, he said in a more cold tone which made you gulp down. You quickly picked up your bag and rushed to the first bench where your friend Maya was sitting. She waved at you, making some space for you to sit on. You smiled at her and then sat on the bench. She sat rode to the lectern with a confidence that bordered on intimidating. Rolling up the sleeves of his white t-shirt, he moved. Jungkook. So, students, I will begin by taking attendance and then we will look at the content for this course in a more detail, he said and looked at his papers, reading aloud. Jungkook. Ada present, Richard present, David present, Elsa present, Maya present. Everybody looked at you and laughed. You got up from the bench and raised your hand shyly, clearing your throat. Jungkook looked at you and raised his eyebrows in a questioning way. Why, sir, you pronounced my name wrongly, you said in a low voice, your hands fidgeting with the fabric of your dress. Jungkook, thank you so much for correction, Miss Lee Wyan. He lists the each word of your name while making you present on the sheet. Your heart did a backflip. Jungkook, you may sit now, Miss Levian, he said softly, tilting his head to you with a smile. In the meantime, Jackson was making weird faces looking at Jungkook. After a few minutes, Jungkook was delivering a lecture, but you were not listening to it as your eyes were stuck on his face. You twirled your pen between your fingers. He was explaining something about postmodern literature, but you barely able to hear his words as your focus was on sharp lines of his jaw, the way his glasses slid down. Maya, you are doing that again, Ryan, she whispered near your ear, snapping you back to the reality. You turned to Maya, who was smirking at you, like the cat. Ryan, doing what? You hissed while your cheeks were heating up, Maya. Of course, drooling over Professor again. It's your daily occurrence, Ryan. She said slowly, making you flinch. Ryan, no, no, I'm not drooling over him. You whispered, though the heart of your cheeks was betraying. You tried to focus on his lecture, but just then Jungkook leaned against your desk. Jungkook, any problem, Miss Ryan? He asked. Your heartbeat go faster, seeing him up as you shook your head. Ryan, no, sir, you replied, looking down. Jungkook, okay, I hope you will get 95% plus marks in my subject, he said. Ryan, sure, sir, you replied, giving him a tired smile as you knew this was never gonna happen. The highest percentage you had taken in your life was 60%, and it was obtained by. You were shocked that how Professor Jungkook had set his hopes high on you, even knowing the fact that you often dozed off in the classroom and never gave a right answer to any of his questions. It's been months that Jungkook is transferred as a new teacher in your school. First time you met him in the principal office where you went to get your annual fees submitted. You and Jackson mistook him as a senior student as he went to him. That he came late and stood in front of them. The Jungkook tried to told him, but Jackson didn't let him speak and started to smile at him. You tried hard to stop Jackson, but he didn't. Since that day, Jungkook doesn't like him. Similar is the case with Jackson. Before Jungkook's arrival, Jackson was considered as the most handsome guy of the school. Every girl was when Jungkook stepped in the school. He didn't like the effect and always stared at him, but Jackson didn't know what to say. A man whom you met as your new professor is now the same man. Whenever you get bored or free, your mind thinks about different moments, but it stuck to him. The conversation you had with him, the time you spent in his class, and the life you might want to spend. Though you know, but he has literally, your mind doesn't function well. Sometimes you wonder that does he even think about you? Or you are just another student whom he teaches. Jungkook, students today class is over now. Expect nothing less than your full attention and effort. If you are not willing to put in the work, you are wasting my time and yours. The midterms are gonna start soon. I won't be any gentle. I won't hesitate to fail any one of you who doesn't get good marks, he said and walked around the students who were nodding their head. If he said something, he will do that definitely. Jungkook looked all around. Jungkook, Miss Ryan, remember 95%? He asked, raising his eyebrows. You kept nodding your head in yes twice. He thumbed up to you before leaving the class. At break, you, Maya, and Jackson were sitting in a cafe which was nearby to the school. Though it was 10 minutes away from your school, but all three of you always preferred it because it was not much crowded and the foods were hygienic, too, unlike your school canteen. You were sipping an orange juice while lost in your thoughts, which were about the midterms. You were stressing about the exams when Jackson noticed you. Jackson, Mayan, stop stressing about the exams. I know you well. You are not at the bottom of class. You always get fine grades. I know you will do that too. He made a fist encouraging you. Mayan, so do you believe I will do well in these exams? You asked, looking at him innocently. Jackson, of course you will. I am proud of you, and I know my dear bestie is intelligent. He said, and you chuckled at him. Maya, well, Professor Jungkook is his hand. No one can take an eyes off from him, she said. You didn't know why they always try to pull each other's leg, Jackson. Yeah, if you are into that sort of thing, he muttered under his breath. Maya, she said, pretending to be lost into her own world. Jackson, what? I have never seen him smiling, he complained. You bit back a laugh, seeing Jackson glaring at Maya. Maya, let it be, guys. Let's focus on midterms, you said while opening the notebook. The board nodded with that. You all started to study. While you were studying, you noticed Jackson. You looked at him and smiled. Maya, hey Ryan, I'm not able to understand this equation. Can you please help me? She asked, placing her notebook in front of your face. Ryan, what is that? Let's check. You said and were about to check the equation when Jackson held your hand and smiled. Jackson, I was thinking we could go over some of these equations together later, just the two of us. It might help both of us to understand them better. He said, giving you a charming smile. Maya, hey, why you jumped in? Can't you let her be with someone else? She asked, raising her brown eyebrows. Jackson, no, she will help me only. Go and ask your Professor Jungkook to help you. He said, clicking his tongue at Maya, who rolled her eyes. Ryan, come on, guys. We came here to have lunch and do some study. You said, glaring at both of them. In the meantime, your wristwatch made a clicking sound which indicated that break was over and it was time to go back to school. You all quickly packed your bags and left for the school. At the school, you were walking in the hallway when you searched your pocket for your mobile phone, but soon your eyes widened as you remembered it was missing. Maya, what happened? She asked, looking at your worried face. Ryan, I think I forgot my mobile phone in a lecture hall, you said. Maya, let's go and get it before something else find it. She said, Ryan, no, no, I will go alone. You go for the next class. I will join you soon. You said, and she nodded her head. To the lecture hall, taking low steps. As you reached it, you pushed open the heavy door. The echo of its creaking sound was the only sound in the large, dimly lit space. You scanned the rows of the seats, your eyes darting from one to the next until you spotted it. It was laying on the bench where you had been sitting. A sigh left your mouth as you hurried up the steps to retrieve your phone and get out of there as you were getting late for the next class. As you reached it, you heard a familiar voice behind you. You slowly turned around to see Jungkook. Jungkook, Miss Ryan, what exactly brought you here? He asked in his cold tone. His arms were crossing. Ryan, I forgot my phone. You stammered. Your voice was trembling slightly despite your best effort to stay normal. Jungkook, so you came back to get your mobile phone? He asked, picking up your mobile phone from the bench. You nodded your hand, looking at him. Jungkook, how you could be so irresponsible? You forgot your phone in the hall, he said, raising his eyebrows. Ryan, it may be it slipped from my pant pocket during the class. You replied. Jungkook, so it slipped from your pant pocket, hmm? Okay, come another day and get it from me, 'cause I ain't going to give it to you today, Miss Ryan, and yeah, take it as a lesson that you will never be able to forget your belongings behind you. He said, putting your mobile phone in his pocket. Ryan, but sir, I need it. You said in a pleading voice. Jungkook, why? Why you need it? He asked, narrowing his eyes. You didn't know why he was asking you so many questions. Why? Because I need to watch K dramas, you replied bluntly. Jungkook let out a sarcastic chuckle, giving you a disbelieving look. Jungkook, you need your mobile phone to watch K dramas? Are you kidding me? Your midterms are around the corner. And here you are saying that you want to watch dramas, he asked, making you feel dejected. Jungkook looked at your scared face and felt a sudden emotion in his heart. He cleared his throat, looking around. Jungkook, by the way, I also watched some of K dramas, they are good, he said, making you frown at his words as you looked him shocked. Jungkook, here you go, but remember to study also, he said, fetching out your mobile phone from his pant pocket. You smiled widely at him and grabbed your mobile phone from his hands. Mayan, I promise Professor Jungkook I will study hard and will get good grades. You said happily and bowed at him. Jungkook let out a chuckle in the response. Jungkook, I believe in you, he said softly. His words did a backflip on your heart while your cheeks turned pink, which was noticed by Jungkook, but he ignored it. Mayan, may I leave now? You asked, pouting. He nodded his head. With a smile, you left while Jungkook bit his lips. Jungkook, why she is so cute, he murmured and left. Time skip at home. You were sitting cross-legged on your bed preparing for your exams as you wanted to do best in it. While you were memorizing the important topics, your room door knocked. Why and who is it? You asked. The room door creaked open and your brother Jeon barged inside, making you groan. Why? What? You said. Jeon, hey, what are you doing? Relax. I just came to tell you that I invited some of friends at my home. So you better stay in your room, he said, catching the cushions. Wyan, do you think I have that much spare time to come down and see your friends? You replied. Ji-young, hey, don't call them like that. They are my friends, he said, making you roll your eyes. Wyan, okay, okay, you said, and he went downstairs. Time skip at night. It's been 6 hours that you had been studying. You were really exhausted now, so you decided to have some snack break. Closing your notebook, you went downstairs to the kitchen. You opened the fridge and searched for something to eat. You sighed in a relief when you found a leftover pizza and sandwiches. You took them out and, putting them in a plate, you sat on the counter chair. You took a first bite and closed your eyes in a relief, but suddenly you heard a familiar yet cold voice, the voice you were never expecting at your place. Your eyes shoot open and the pizza in your hand fell on the counter. Wyan, Professor Jungkook, you stuttered, standing up from the chair. Jungkook, Miss Lee Wyan, he said, shocked, unable to believe in his eyes. Meanwhile, Jeong entered the kitchen. Jeong, hey, little trouble. What are you doing here? Well, meet my friend Jungkook. Man, this is my sister Wyan, he said, introducing you both with each other. Wyan, your friend, but you never told me, Oppa, you said, looking at Jungkook. Jeong, hey, did you ever tell you? You gave him a tired smile, feeling flustered in Jungkook's presence. Jungkook, well, Wyan, won't you tell your brother that I am your professor also? Jeong, professor, he muttered, looking at you. Wyan, I was about to tell you, Oppa, you said, forcing a smile. Jungkook noticed as he smiled. Wyan, I'll still have a lot of study to do. I will. You said, and grabbing the plate, you ran down upstairs. As you reached your room, you looked at yourself in the mirror and a groan left your mouth. Wine, oh my, I look like a fresh red tomato. What if Oppa or Professor Jungkook noticed it? You muttered, pulling. After an hour, you were trying to solve the math problem, but it seemed mission impossible. Suddenly, your room door creaked open and Professor Jungkook entered in with a soft smile. Wine, Professor, you started getting up from the bed. Jungkook, relax, Miss Wyan. I just came to check if you are actually studying or not, he said, making you smile nervously. Why, no, Professor, I am literally studying diligently. I assure that I will get good grades this time. You said, making him smile. Jungkook, well, I guess you are finding difficulty to solve math problem. he said, pointing at the door pages spread across the bed. Wine, oh, I was just not able to solve this one, you replied, giving him a toothy grin. Jungkook, let me help you then, he said and sat on the bed. Jungkook, oh, this is not difficult at all, he said and started to solve it. Wine, thank you so much, you said. Jungkook stood up and was about to go when he stumbled on his feet. Wine, Professor, are you okay? You asked. Wine, I'm sorry, Mr. Jungkook, I should have not done. You stuttered suddenly. Jungkook don't need to be sorry. Saying that, he went outside. After 2 days, you were in the detention class completing the assignment which you forgot to do because of the midterms stress, and as a result, Professor Lee gave you detention. While you were completing the assignment, Jungkook entered in. Why, Professor, you smiled shyly, tucking a loose strand of your hair behind your ear. Jungkook, I was just missing you, he said. You smiled and started to complete your assignment. You tilted your hand, and the sight of you in front of your eyes weakened your heart. Jungkook was sleeping. Why, he must have had a tiring day, you murmured. You bent down and looked at his moles. Let's count, you said and started to count them. Why, 1, 2, 3, you murmured, pointing your finger. I think that's enough. He don't have any more. Jungkook, you wanna count them more? He said. You nodded. Jungkook, wait a moment. After 1 week, Ryan, Jack, me, and Professor Jungkook, I just thought I'd share it with you because you are my best friend. You said, grabbing Jungkook's hand. Jackson, hee hee, I'm happy for both of you, he said, his teeth gritted as he gave Jungkook a sharp glare. Jungkook smirked. Ryan, I knew you will be happy for me, Jack. You are so kind. You said, grinning at him, Jackson. Yeah, why not? He said, stretching. Ryan, okay, you both talk. I will come soon. Then left. Jackson glared at Jungkook. Their faces were turned into a watermelon.